This is so precarious. Hello, it's me, Megradael, and we have our little drinky drink today. Crash is sniffing the camera and the tripod, which is a stack of books. Very cute. Alright, so it's been a while, and in that while I have bought too many books, too many things, and I'm also crashing out. Really, it's not that serious. But I wanted to show you the books that I got and some of the other cool stuff I got because I am going to be decluttering some things and I want to show you the books I have and some of the books that I am not going to have. So let's get into it. If you're back to my channel, welcome back. And if you're new to the channel, I'm Megradael and this is where we sip our little coffee and we talk about books and media. Something you may have noticed is I have a piece of metal in my nose. That was impulsive and we're gonna move on. So welcome back to my channel. If you haven't been here, we talk about books and drink coffee and look at my cute cats and really just have a great time. I'm going to Japan soon, so that's gonna be awesome. But today is all about the book hauls. And I actually have so many new books that I am going to have more book hauls. So this one is gonna be maybe a sci-fi book haul. Maybe that's what we'll do for this one. So, as you may know, I am in love with Michael Moorcock and Frank Herbert, the writers of the Elric saga and Dune. So, let's just get into it. Michael Moorcock's The Golden Barge. Wow, what a cool cover. That's one of my favorite things about Michael Moorcock, right? It's usually the same artist, not always, but I will insert the name here. So this is a Daw Books Find Never Before in paperback. Jeffrey Tallow's fantastic quest for the Golden Barge is the theme that runs through this unique novel. Unique in that it was Michael Moorcock's original novel in whose pages can be found the basic elements that were to emerge in his Eternal Champion novels as well as in his worlds of Jerry Cornelius, Carl Glogauer, and Una Person. I have even more sci-fi paperbacks over there, oh my god. Okay, this is just gonna be Michael Moorcock and Frank Herbert, it looks like, because I have even more sci-fi novels over here. Frank Herbert, yes, the creator of Dune. This is the Santaroga Barrier. Yeah, kind of looks like The Dome by Stephen King. I watched a little bit of the show as a child and didn't know it was actually part of the Stephen King novel. Anyway, Dason pictured the Santaroga Valley as a swarming place behind a facade like a pyramid. Solid, faceless, enduring. In there, behind the facade, Santaroga did something to its people. Oh my gosh, my nose is itching. He sensed a one-pointedness here, such that every Santarogan became an extension of every other Santarogan. They were like rays spreading out from a pinhole in a black curtain. What lay behind the black curtain? I don't know why that's reminding me of Inland Empire by David Lynch, but I watched like half of it because I was trying to play Magic the Gathering, okay, and I just couldn't pay attention to either one, so I got basically half of both. I'm sorry, Eric. Anyway, so don't know why, but that just reminded me of that. Frank Herbert, The Godmakers. You know, why have you not seen this before? Unless you have, and then you can be part of a secret club that has seen this before. The Godmakers. Let's see what this says. Ooh. Mr. Herbert served in the U.S. Navy in World War II. He has worked as a photographer, television cameraman, radio newsman, oyster diver, and psychoanalyst. He has also taught creative writing. He lives in the state of Washington. Cute. To become a god, a living creature must transcend the physical. The 3 steps of this transcendent path are known. First, he must come upon the awareness of secret aggression. Second, he must come upon the discernment of purpose within the animal shape. Third, he must experience death. When this is done, the nascent god must find his own rebirth in a unique ordeal by which he discovers the one who summoned him. The Making of a God, from the Amel Handbook. That is the epithet in this book. On to Michael Moorcock. Look how beautiful. This is Michael Whelan, who is the guy whose name I couldn't remember earlier. Sorry, Michael. This is the 7th book. Very beautiful, isn't it? These are my favorite covers. Thank you, Michael Whelan. It's just so beautiful. So this is Elric at the End of Time. I also got some really cool comics. Oh my god, I have to find those. Not in this video, but maybe I'll show off my other Elric comics with those. I only need the last one. I'll show you later. Danger, Sinister Magic, and the mightiest sword of all. This is the Stealer of Souls, Michael Moorcock. And that may sound familiar to you because part of the third novel, Elric, what is it? The Weird of the White Wolf. Part of it was published in this, I think. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's accurate. Meet Elric, the most unusual hero in the great tradition of swashbuckling fantasy. Elric, the albino sorcerer and battle-thirsty prince. Elric, doomed beyond hope to wander a world of barbarism and treachery. Elric, seeker of impossible goals, fighter of savage battles, and embittered poet. Elric and his wonderful world, Stormbringer, which holds its owner in a powerful magic grip. Oh, tell me about it, girl. All you girlies are missing out on Elric, okay? We cannot have the guys have Elric all to himself, and I say that with all the love. Sword and swordsman? Which would be master? So this is Stormbringer. Michael Moorcock. Alright, so basically, I mean, it goes without saying, that's Elric. Frank Herbert's Soul Catcher. Now this is one I also hadn't really seen. No longer Charles Hobuhet, imitation white man, he was Katsuk, the center, the core from which all perception radiates, and his victim was David Marshall, 13-year-old son and Undersecretary of State, an innocent from the modern white world chosen for an ancient sacrifice of vengeance. An extraordinary book not only dramatizes the conflict between the culture of the Northwestern Indians and modern civilization, but also weaves a spell over the reader with its eloquent and powerful narrative. D. Brown, author of Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee. I have never even heard about this. Spellbounding power and mysticism. I'm very curious. Very curious. Dune. By the creator of Dune, the book of Frank Herbert. Alright. The Dune Man. Add to the names of Heinlein. How do you say his name? I read his name almost every day. Heinlein? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, sir. I'm so sorry. Okay. Clark, Le Guin, and Ellison, which I really need to read Harlan Ellison. This guy came in once and told me, you should really read Harlan, and he looked cool. He looked like a biker or a wrestler. Could have been both. He had on a bandana, sweetest man ever. I might have seen him since, I don't know. But he was like, you should read Ellison, and I should. As long as it's not a $300 mass market paperback. Anyway. So yeah, this is his own selection of his most outstanding fiction, 10 mind-tingling tales of time, space, and the enigma of man's future. So it's a short story collection. I'm not sure if I've read anything in there yet. Then we have The Bane of the Black Sword, the 5th novel of Elric Melny Bonet. Spot some more Michael Whalen art here. High in the wintry sky climbed the dragons as Elric urged his charges westwards. Thoughts of love, of peace, of vengeance even were lost in that reckless sweeping across the glowering skies which hung over the ancient age of the young kingdoms. Michael, the Steel Tsar, the Guild of Temporal Adventures. I'm not gonna lie, this looks like a Yu-Gi-Oh card. I'm not gonna lie. Alright. In his epic adventures in the alternative 20th centuries, chrononaut Oswald Bastable, member of the League of Temporal Adventurers, has crossed and recrossed many different time streams. Some of his previous experiences have been told in The Land Leviathan and The Warlord of the Air. Now, in what may be the last communication from him, he tells of a world in which the Bolshevik Revolution never happened. Interesting. I actually think I've seen the airship, the Warlord of the Air, if that's the airship. The hardback cover. I don't know. Then we have A Messiah at the End of Time, which also has a really interesting cover. I don't know what to think of it, but it kind of reminds me of Megamind, and not just because we're out here megaminding it. Sorry, that was so cringe, but I love Megamind, and I'm sorry, I actually just bought a book about Megamind too. I'm so sorry. But this is, ooh, it has a British title, The Transformation of Miss Mavis Ming. I don't know what to make of this. But the character on this front here kind of looks like Minion. In the sense that they have on armor and then have an animal, alien looking face. Kind of looks more like a monkey though in this picture, but whatever. Then we have Michael Moorcock. I have never, ever seen this cover, okay? It says, The War Hound in the World's Pain. Beautiful. I wish I had drawn this. Okay? So, within a withered forest, in a palace rich and desolate, a man loved a woman and made a pact with Satan. Lured to the dead kingdom while traveling Europe's ravaged landscape, the warhound Von Beck is entranced by the beautiful and strange Lady Sabrina. But in return for her love, he must meet her master, Lucifer. Actually, Von Beck, I think I have Von Beck collection on my bookshelf in the other room, and if I wasn't stuck in the corner and would have to get around you, I would totally go grab it. But I actually have that. So I just haven't seen this one. I'll get back to you after I read all of this. I'm sorry. I buy stuff and then I read other things. I don't know what's wrong with me. Alright, then we have Michael Moorcock, The Chronicles of Coram. And if you know anything about Coram, this is the sequel to the Swords Trilogy, and the Swords Trilogy is actually on the stack that you're sitting on, which I am actually reading currently. So, be proud of me. So, this is the sequel. Coram really just, like, left his castle and was faced with the evilness of man, am I right? Alright, now this one is also one that I've seen it once after I bought this, but this is the Legends from the End of Time. Cool cover, bruh. Like, look at that. This is the further experiences of the Iron Orchid, the Duke of Queens, Lord Jacket of Canaria, the Everlasting Concubine, my Lady Charlotina, and other residents at the end of time. This is Moorcock's unique vision of the lull before the apocalypse, in which the few and various survivors of Earth's dead civilizations wallow in beautiful, idle decadence, dedicating their lives to capital A art. But their total magical control of the elements, the spectrum, the very fabric of the world, the inhabitants of the Twilight Age do nothing but amuse each other with spectacular shows of skillful aesthetic indulgence. They R-word the universe and celebrate their imminent destruction. Now, I don't like that sentence, but how picky can we be? Somebody left a note in here. Rada's knobs for Barl. Raids? Radio knobs for Barb. For Barb, radio knobs for Barb. Somebody needed to buy radio knobs for Barb, and they have 10 hours. Monday, Tuesday, 3 to 5 and 4:10, and Thursday, 4:10, Friday, 3 to 5. If this is your note, let me know. But I'm going to keep it in here for safekeeping, so you don't forget when you need to go do that thing for 10 hours. Alright, then we have Conan! Alright, Jason, I will read Conan. Jason isn't here. But this is by Robert E. Howard. If you don't know who Conan is, you're a little behind the times. But this is Else Brock de Camp and Lynn Carter. It's probably de Camp, but de Camp sounds interesting. So this is the first one. Fritz Lieber has a little piece on the back about it. Conan is a Superman, or super barbarian, rather, into whom the prolific Robert Irwin Howard was able to best inject his furious dreams of danger and power, and an unending adventure of combative and sexual prowess. Conan is a true hero of Valhalla, battling and suffering great wounds by day, carousing and wrenching by night, and plunging into flesh adventures tomorrow. So, I know I've always needed to read Conan, and here it is. Yeah, this artist is also really good. I don't remember the name. I'm sorry. It doesn't say it on it. Then we have another book that I've never seen the cover of, which is Michael Moorcock's Master of the Pit. Cool. This is an epic saga of heroic fantasy. So I saw a man stagger from a house and come stumbling towards us. There was bloody foam on his lips, and his face had a greenish patch coming up from his neck to his nose. One arm seemed paralyzed and useless. The other waved about as if he was trying to keep his balance. He saw us, and an inarticulate cry came from his lips. His eyes were fever bright, and hatred shone from them. And then it goes to the next one. They came from above, their vast wings flapping noisily in the still air. Their skins were pale, a strange unhealthy blue that contrasted oddly with their red, gaping mouths and their long white tusks. Another one. Michael Caine, scientist and warrior extraordinary, travels for the last time through time and space to a disease-ravaged Mars. This is the final volume of the trilogy by the world's premier writer of heroic fantasy. The first volume was City of the Beast, and the second Lord of the Spiders, both published by New English Library. And there's a beautiful picture of the man on the back. And then we have Michael Moorcock's The Champion of Garthorn. This is volume 2 in the Chronicles of Castle Brass. The Journey into the Future's Past. The invincible Dorian Hawkmoon, Duke of Colne, falls deeper into the soul madness that has overtaken him. And then the rest is spoilers, so I'm not going to read that. This is volume 3 in the Chronicles of Castle Brass. The Final Quest. And I'm not going to read the back because that's also spoilers. And then we have this other one that I've never seen. Listen, this was such a great find. Thank you to whoever's books these were. This is The Jewel in the Skull, the first volume in the history of the rune staff. Those who dare swear by the rune staff must then benefit with... Charlie? Lord, you okay? Goodness, you jumped off the PlayStation, but that sounded not good. Okay. Must suffer from the consequences of the fixed pattern of destiny that they set in motion. Yeah. That's cool. So this is Dorian Hawkmoon, late of the Duke of Colne, under the power of the rune staff. But, yeah. And then we have Elric at the End of Time without the silver border. Thank you, Michael Whalen, for this beautiful, beautiful book. Wow. I could stare at this for hours, honestly. Wow, he's looking at my soul. I can't do that. Then, Frank Herbert, The Eyes of Heisenberg. Never ever seen this book before. Okay. When Potter first saw it under the microscope, his blood ran cold. Somehow, despite centuries of careful genetic engineering, this embryo had managed to acquire both forbidden genes. Both forbidden genes. Intelligence and fertility. It was a monster! Thanks. A human capable of surviving and reproducing on its own. It had to be destroyed. I'm so curious. Alright. We're almost to the end. Okay, Michael Moorcock and the City in the Autumn Stars. I've seen this in hardcover, but I had never seen it in paperback, so I grabbed it. Being a continuation of the story of the Von Beck family and its association with Lucifer, Prince of Darkness, and the cure for the world's pain. So this is a sequel to the War Hound and the World's Pain. So there's that. And then we have the last two are Frank Herbert. We have Frank Herbert's Whipping Star, which I see this one a little more frequently than the other ones, and I just had never grabbed it. So he thought of his own flesh decomposing. The whole flesh, the universe decomposing. It would be over in an instant. The way the universe measures time. A wild pulse lost in sun breeze. Poet. Time was running out when McKee found the last Caliban, damaged, fading, nearly incoherent. Or was she? He was pathetically unable to communicate with the tormented creature, must thus free her from the ruthless force of evil which had enslaved her awesome power, and which relentlessly sought the annihilation of sentient life. Cool. And the very last one. This is Destination Void, which is one that I actually do see a lot. But it's a space adventure that I don't really know about, so this is the completely revised author's edition of the classic Deep Space Adventure. It's when the publishers announced that they were going to bring out a new edition of Destination Void, they offered me the opportunity to make any changes I felt were necessary. Because of the tightly interwoven scientific premises behind the story and rapid development in fields related to these premises, it would be extraordinary if discoveries across 13 years did not dictate certain revisions. You'll find, therefore, that this newly published version of Destination Void contains significant additions, rewritten portions, changes in character development, and certain deletions. It's interesting. So I think I've seen the revised edition, or the unrevised edition as well. I'm curious what the changes are. Relays clicked as Prudence shunted the ATT to calm Central. Presently, she said, "Short and sweet. Hempstead tells us to cease ignoring communications. We are ordered to turn back." Odd choice of words. This is an arbitrary turn back command. At the sound of Prudence's voice, flattery went cold. They know, he thought. They know we have created a rogue consciousness. AI? Sorry, it's too soon. Sorry. Arbitrary turn back was the coded order he had both dreaded and longed for. It was the kill ship command. Oh my god! I'm shaking in my baby seal leather boots. Are you mega minding it? Alright guys, well, that's honestly not all the Michael Moorcock I have bought recently because I literally see some on the stack that you're standing on, but I'm not going to topple that over for the sake of being oddly specific. So, this is the end of the book haul that I'm doing at the moment. Welcome back. I hope you missed me, but I hope you didn't miss me too much. And shout out to the Patreon members that are Chaos Lords. Eric, I'm talking to you. You can be a Patreon member too. Really, you just get behind the scenes, and if you have any ideas of what else you want, let me know. Also, I have a website. If you haven't looked into that, I post articles. I just wrote an article about Nana and Vivian Westwood and their 25th anniversary collaboration, so I might actually make a video on that if you're too lazy to read. I'm just kidding. But yeah, cool. Thanks, it was good to see you, and I look forward to reading all of these books and seeing you next time. Bye! Book Betty out. Look at that stack. Look how thick. Thick stack. Vivian. This is my Vivian Westwood. Yeah. Yeah. There's Sabrina. Happy Halloween. That's right. Happy Halloween. Whoop.